All right, good Sunday evening, everyone. Hopefully, everyone had a great weekend out there. I'll be honest with you, we are very fortunate across the Texas Gulf Coast that this uh, system did not behave like it did out in the Caribbean, because otherwise, this would have been a major devastating hurricane that's about to hit the Gulf Coast. But unfortunately, it's still a tropical storm. It encountered a lot of dry air wrapping into it. Encountered some shear as well as soon as it came across the Yucatan Peninsula into the Gulf. Shear plus dry air is not very good. Dry air wrapped in through the center of it as well. Until today, it started to get its act together today. Pressure started falling pretty rapidly, and now the wind speeds are starting to go up. Now, as you can see, we're probably about 7 hours away, 6 7 hours away from landfall here. But as you can see, the last few frames here, the thunderstorms are really starting to blow up around the center. We've been talking about this for a few days, that this will probably intensify up until landfall and could have some extreme or very rapid intensification through the next few hours before landfall. So this is definitely probably going to be a hurricane when it makes landfall. It could be up to 80, 85. It could make it to 90-mile-per-hour winds, if possible. And when this thing starts really getting its act together, and looks like it's trying to do that as we speak. So if you're just now joining us, please hit that like button, comment where you're from, share this with your friends and family. If you're over on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. It is like liking a page on Facebook, but hit that subscribe button, hit all notifications. You'll be notified every time we go live over on YouTube. All right, let's take a look at the latest information. All right, let's go over the latest 10 p.m. advisory here. We have winds, sustained winds up to 70 miles per hour. The movement is north northwest at 10 miles per hour. It is currently 75 miles south southeast of Matagorda, Texas, or about 110 miles east of Corpus Christi, Texas. So, like I said, we have 6 7 hours to go before we start. It starts making landfall here. So the changes with this advisory, with the watches and warnings here, the hurricane watch from St. Louis Pass to Port Bolivar has been upgraded to a hurricane warning. The hurricane warning south of Mesquite Bay has been changed to a tropical storm warning, and the tropical storm warning south of Baffin Bay has been discontinued. Storm surge warning has been discontinued from Mesquite Bay to Port um, Rancis. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. All right, so let's go over basically the watches and warnings that are currently in effect. All right, so I just went over the changes with this advisory. Let's go over all the watches and warnings here. Storm surge warning is in effect from Mesquite Bay to Sabine Pass, including Matagorda Bay and Galveston Bay. Hurricane warning is in effect from the Texas coast from Mesquite Bay northward to Port Bolivar. Tropical storm warning is in effect for the Texas coast south of Mesquite Bay to Port Mansfield, and also north of Port Bolivar to Sabine Pass. All right. So there's the latest as of 10 p.m. Like I said, this is going to be making some impacts. The first wave or first band is actually coming inland, making its way onshore. At the moment, there's been a few tornado warnings out there, and I believe the Storm Prediction Center will be issuing a tornado watch here pretty soon in regards to this. There's always tornadoes that come with hurricanes. There's already tons of spin in the atmosphere. So with these bands, especially on the right north of this system, is going to create some tornado issues as we go throughout the day to rest of tonight into tomorrow, and possibly lingering into tomorrow night as well, even going into parts of Arkansas as well. We'll go over the severe weather threat in here in just a second. All right, here's the latest on the storm prediction. The mesoscale discussion was just issued. It's invalid until 1 a.m. Tornado watch is coming across parts of this area, probably by 1 o'clock in the morning. So just stay weather aware. You need to, if you're up towards Houston or southeastern parts of Texas here, these bands have not gotten to you yet. The first initial band has not gotten to you yet. So you need to rush to completion and just basically hunker down. And then by tomorrow night, this thing will be north of the area, north of Houston in the Gulf Coast. Still going to be lots of heavy rain around, and that's going to be heading towards the northeastern parts of Texas and then through Arkansas. And we'll go over through the rest of the track here in just a second, along with rainfall amounts as well. All right, if you can see this right here, you're probably wondering what all this stuff is here. Well, the hurricane hunters are actually going through. You can see where this little airplane icon is, where my little hand is right here. The center of the circulation's up in here. So they're making a pass once again. They made a pass a little bit ago, and I think the pressures were down to, let me find it really quick. All right, there we go. So the last pass they did, they found the pressure's down to 984. So this continues to strengthen. This was, I believe, an hour or more or so ago across the area. But this hurricane hunter is making a pass through the center of circulation here in the next few minutes, and we'll be able to get some more data from them to see if the pressures are falling. If the pressures are continuing to fall, then the winds will respond. So this should be probably a hurricane in the next few hours. You can see where that outer eye wall is really where. Remember, I showed you on that satellite picture where those storms are really starting to develop. You can see that outer eye wall now. This is going to be a when that hits the coast, it's going to all bets are off. But you see the outer band starting to get on the coast here. Let me turn. Let me actually turn this off really quick so we can see kind of what's going on. If this thing will cooperate, give me just a second. All right. So here's all the tropical. Okay, so along the coast, these are all storm surge warnings. Basically from Galveston Bay all the way south of Port Lavaca, and then all these purple areas just south of Houston. This is Victoria over towards Edna to Campo to Bay City to Manaville, Angleton, West Columbia, Warrenton. These are hurricane warnings across this area. We'll take a look at the latest. So they're thinking peak wind gusts. The peak wind forecast 55 to 70 mile per hour with gusts to 90 miles per hour possible. Could be, like I said, this is just now unfolding across this area. So lots of rain as well. 48 inches possible there. Now Houston proper here, we're under a tropical storm warning. They're thinking 50 to 65 mile per hour winds with gusts to 90 possible, even in Houston metro. So like I said, you need to rush to completion anything you need to get done, and then you need to hunker down, especially if you're in and around Houston area, because those bands are coming on shore right now. So you got the next probably hour or two before that first band hits, and when that first band hits, it's gonna be basically a punch to the basically atmosphere through Houston here, and it's going to deliver a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and there's going to be some embedded tornadoes as well. Like I said, just basically hunker down and ride this thing out in the Houston area. There's going to be some flooding as well throughout the area, so need to be mindful of what's happening through there. So looks like the hurricane hunters just went through again. Let's see if we can find any newer data here. Some back here. 993, 985, 985. So far just 985 millibars, and planes going back through the center of or going through the center of the system here shortly. All right, let's take a look. All right, forgot to go over this. All this yellow tropical storm warnings is all the way up towards Grapeland, I believe, Crockett, Trinity, Woodville, Huntsville, Madisonville, College Station. Be up here towards Crockett, Trinity. We can go over that here. So this is locations affected: Groveton and Trinity. Expecting peak wind forecast 35 to 45 mile per hour winds with gusts to hurricane force of 75 miles per hour. So there's everybody in these tropical storm warnings, there's going to be some scattered power outages out there. And then as you get closer to the hurricane warnings, there's going to be possible power outages regardless. And then once you get over hurricane force gusts, especially for a prolonged period of time, there's going to be probably some prolonged power outages across parts of this area. All right, peak storm surge. Let's go over that because this is going to be a dangerous situation here across parts of the Texas coast here. I'm trying to pull up the latest information. So there's the danger of life-threatening storm surge along the Texas coast from Mesquite Bay to Sabine Pass, including Matagorda Bay and Galveston Bay. Residents should follow any advice given by local officials and follow evacuation orders. Okay, so this is the new storm surge forecast that is out. 1 to 2 feet of storm surge possible from the mouth of the Rio Grande all the way up to Baffin Bay into Mesquite Bay, Corpus Christi Bay, maybe 1 to 3 feet. Mesquite Bay to Port O'Connor, 3 to 5 feet of storm surge. This is above normal high tide, normal dry ground, basically. So 3 to 5 foot of storm surge. And then from Port O'Connor, this is including Matagorda Bay, all the way up to St. Louis Pass, 4 to 7 feet of storm surge. Galveston Bay, 4 to 6 feet. This is St. Louis Pass to High Island, 4 to 6 feet storm surge. High Island to Sabine Pass, this is 3 to 5 feet. Sabine Pass all the way to Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge in Louisiana, 1 to 3 feet storm surge is possible up that way. All right, let's go over the latest high resolution models here. So this is about right around midnight or so. You can see the outer eye wall is starting to come on shore here along the central Texas Gulf Coast here. And as we go throughout the night, this is 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. The eye wall is the northern eye wall is firmly into parts of Texas here. And then you got basically Houston really starting to go downhill as we go past midnight into early in the morning. So this is 5 a.m. This is showing that the hurricane is making landfall around 5-6 o'clock in the morning, and then Houston is really going to start getting battered after early in the morning through most of the morning hours, with gusts possibly up to 90 miles per hour in the Houston area. Along with all this storm surge coming in, and like I said, up to 7 feet of storm surge is possible. And then up to 3 foot of storm surge is possible up here in parts of southwestern Louisiana, too. So even though you may not get affected by much wind over here in southwest Louisiana, you still could have some storm surge. Okay, so 1 to 3 feet is possible out that way. So here's 10 o'clock in the morning. Here's noon. Houston, basically, that eye wall is going to be filling in. The system's going to start unraveling and basically spreading out its wind field. That's what it does. That's what systems do when they start try to unravel and diminish some. Okay, so as we go towards 1 o'clock, starting to head north into Houston, Dallas on the Dallas could be dealing with some storms on the outer periphery of this. Then here's 3 o'clock. Could get some storms up here towards southwestern or southeastern parts of Oklahoma, maybe up through central Arkansas. Scattered storms across Arkansas and northeastern Oklahoma. Big fetch of Gulf moisture and embedded storms with possibly some tornadoes on the east side of Texas here into possibly Louisiana. This is including the Shreveport area. And then as we go throughout the rest of the day, tomorrow or Monday, that is, Tyler, Texas is 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Very heavy rains up towards Shreveport. And then a big line of storms that came through parts of northern Arkansas here into southern Missouri. Let me actually expand this out just a little bit so you can see. So there's going to be lots of rain coming with this. And we kind of expand this out. So here is midnight on Tuesday, early Tuesday morning, Little Rock, and very heavy rain, probably some gusty winds as well. Lots of heavy rain through parts of northeastern parts of Texas, southwestern Oklahoma. And then this system really starts ramping up and going towards the northeast, increasing speed as we go through Tuesday here. Most of northern Arkansas is really getting pummeled with a lot of heavy rain. This is midday on Tuesday. And then this is going towards St. Louis as we go to late to the day on Tuesday, and basically up into parts of Illinois, and then possibly going up through Detroit with this system. Okay, by then it'll be a subtropical, basically nothing. The depression will be down here towards Arkansas, and basically just diminish into a remnant low pressure. But it's going to be still a ton of rain with this system and a tornado threat across parts of Texas, Louisiana, even into Arkansas. Let's go over that really quick. All right, here's where the risk is for the rest of tonight around the southeastern Texas Gulf Coast here. Tomorrow it heads into eastern Texas, parts of Louisiana, and southwestern Arkansas. There is a marginal risk all the way up to southern Illinois, even with this thing. And then it goes to a marginal risk over towards the Ohio Valley into Kentucky on Tuesday. All right, let's take a look at few other things here. All right, here's a tornado probability of a tornado for tonight. 5 to 9%, especially along the southeastern Gulf Coast. This will expand tomorrow, Monday. Here's a tornado outlook for Monday. You can see the 5 to 9% brown areas all the way up into most of western Louisiana, eastern Texas, in through parts of southwestern Arkansas. The 2 to 4% is all the way up through northeastern Arkansas. Actually, most of Arkansas, except the northwestern quarter, and then up into parts of the boot heel of Missouri. 2 to 4% probability of a tornado within 25 miles of any given point. So the primary severe weather hazards with this system is going to be tornadoes and high winds. All right, tornado watch has been issued now. This is valid until 10 a.m. Monday. So a couple tornadoes possible, isolated gusts up to 70 miles per hour with some of these stronger storms as well. This including Houston up to Dayton, Dayton, the I-10 corridor going through Houston as well, Texas City, Lake Jackson, down here towards Port Lavaca. So almost 7.5 million people are under this tornado watch that's going until 10 o'clock tomorrow. Basically, for the next 11 hours, you're going to be under tornado watch down here. So a couple tornadoes possible, and especially with this soon-to-be hurricane coming inland across the area. All right, so that's all I have for this evening. So please stay safe out there. It's going to be basically the next 24 hours across the central to eastern Gulf Coast of Texas is going to be pretty rough. At this time tomorrow, most of Houston should be calming down, but all this should be up to northeastern parts of Texas. Very heavy rain, flooding rain, tornado threat, eastern Texas, parts of western Louisiana, heading up to Arkansas. Heavy rain will start impacting parts of eastern Oklahoma through Arkansas as we go into Monday night and Tuesday, and then slowly winding down and heading northeast pretty quickly through the Ohio Valley and then up towards Michigan as we go through into late Wednesday. So there's the latest from the National Hurricane Center. All the severe weather that's happening. We went over all the hurricane warnings, or the tropical storm warnings, and the storm surge issues as well. Oh, I did not show you how much rain. So let me find that really quick. Alrighty, as we go through, like I said, the next few days, most of this will happen over the next 24 to 36 hours across eastern Texas. So a general 4 to 8, possibly locally a foot of rain possible, especially down here towards southeastern parts of Texas. And then anywhere in this tan band area here, probably 5 to 7 inches of rain all the way up to west central Arkansas. And then you get up towards north central Arkansas through southern Missouri, southeastern Missouri, probably 2 to 4 inches at least, maybe locally higher amounts as well, maybe 5, 6 inches. Just depends on banding and stuff like that. So could have locally heavier amounts. A lot of this area, especially up in Arkansas, is actually going through a little bit of a drought right now. So there's going to be welcome relief. Flooding should be mitigated. There should be some flash flooding, but temporary flash flooding, that is. But this is welcome news up here towards the Ozarks of Arkansas and through western Arkansas and parts of Oklahoma as well, and southern Missouri. So need some rain up that way. So this is a welcome relief. Down here through Texas, you've had a lot of flooding down there over the past couple months. So this is going to just aggravate some flooding concerns down that way. There's going to be some rain in western parts of Louisiana. Eastern parts of Louisiana, not so much. Maybe a quarter to a half inch. And if you're over towards Mississippi and parts of Alabama, you're basically going to get nothing out of this. So that's the latest that we have right now. So I know this is a very long live, but I want to go over all the information with you. Thank you so much for following us on Facebook, following us on YouTube. We want to thank our subscribers and supporters out there as well. You continue to make this channel and page possible. So we're going to continue to have updates on Facebook as well. So keep following our page on that. But everybody stay safe out there over the next few days. Everybody should get through this. There's, like I said, there's going to be some inconveniences and power outages and some flooding, stuff like that, and storm surge. But most of the Gulf Coast will bounce back. We've been through this before. We've been through a lot of nastier scenarios through the Texas Gulf Coast before. So we should be able to get through this. And like I said, stay safe out there. Hunker down, especially if you're in and around the Houston area. You just need to start hunkering down and ride this thing out. This time tomorrow, it'll be over with in the Houston area, and then you'll have to deal with the residual flooding and some cleanup, and then hopefully everything will go back to normal by midweek. All right, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your evening, and please stay safe out there.